everyone, it's Winona from Dairy Barn Art, and welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. Um, this is a channel about cross stitch mostly, quilting, sewing, fiber arts kind of thing. I love to paper craft too, but right now I have a big sofa and love seat in my basement that I have to find a new home for, and before I can get back to my paper crafting. And I'm not too, it was my grandma's sofa and love, so I'm not too working too hard to get rid of it, I guess I should say. But anyway, today is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 10, I believe. Well, it's been interesting this last month and a half. We had a sew day with my friends that we all own featherweight sewing machines. Those are vintage or antique Singer sewing machines. They're very tiny, and we try to get together once a month or so and sew and sew and sew and sew. But lots of laughter, lots of fun. And this month, the girls that hosted it, they made us each these cute little luggage tags. I think I'm going to put mine on my suitcase as I fly to Seattle, or not Seattle, Cincinnati for StitchCon. Ooh, I almost forgot what that was called. And then they made us a little crochet spool pin doily. You put it on your thread, where the, oh, Winona, find words here. Your spool pin that you put your thread on, and you set this underneath, and it just looks really pretty on your little black, mostly black featherweights. Most of them are black. There's white ones and there's tan ones, and I think a greenish tone kind of too. And then people paint them, like Lori Holt has just wonderful colors, but I don't have quite that much money right now. But I was also really busy finishing up my Lori Holt mystery quilt, and I did get it finished, and it's already been given away. I was having problems with my quilting machine. We moved it at Christmas. I rearranged up here, and every time you move the machine, you have to run diagnostics because you can move the motors and all that. And I did one row, well, I guess I did have trouble with the first row. It's computerized. And then the second row, I had nothing but trouble, and I had to unpick about a quarter of that row, which it takes seconds to stitch, and it takes hours and hours to unpick. And anyway, I got so frustrated, I put my machine in timeout for a few days. And then I called my son and said, "Can you come over and, help me fix this machine?" And he came over and he looked at it, and a couple of screws were loose. So all he did was tighten those two screws. It took him like 2 minutes, and the machine is running like fabulous, not an issue left. But I was making the quilt because I got baptized on Sunday. I have been a Christian for many years, but was too scared to get baptized. I don't know what I was scared of, to tell the truth. I guess publicly and acknowledging that Jesus Christ is my Savior. I guess that was the hard part for me. But anyway, I belong to a Bible study with wonderful women, and they're from the Whitewood Evangelical Missionary Church in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. And so I started going to church, and they were doing baptism. And so I said, I think I should get baptized. So anyway, I made the quilt, and if I remember, I'll put a picture up here. If not, it'll for sure be at the end of the video. But I gave the quilt to the pastor as a thank you for baptizing me, because I felt it was a real honor. And I made t-shirts with my Cricut machine and heat transfer vinyl. I made t-shirts for everyone getting baptized. And again, if I remember, I put the picture in here. If not, it'll be at the end of the video. My whole family, like not my whole family, but a lot of my family came, and friends came. My daughter-in-law came with the two girls because my son was working and he wasn't able to come. My other son was there, and with a really close family friend, and it was really cool because we don't have a lot of people that attend church regularly, but it's a fair-sized church. And that part of the church, which is maybe a quarter of the church maybe, was filled with my family and friends. And the pastor made a comment that obviously someone has more friends than he does. He's such a good pastor. But anyway, my daughter-in-law took a picture of me with my two granddaughters. And again, I'll show that. I'm very reluctant to show pictures of myself and that, but I will show it here. And if not, again, that'll be at the end of the video. But we're just starting to work outside. It's the end of May, but it's been really cold. And even last week, it was freezing at night. So I'm in no rush to get out there when it's cold. There's no point. And I have a lot to do. So I would just as soon get out there, do it all, clean up my yard, plant my annuals, plant any new perennials, and then it's all done. I do it in one scoop. So today was the day we were going to plant the garden. My son Dustin was going to come over and help me. I don't know what I would do without that boy. He helps me so much. But it is just gusting winds out there. I don't know if you can hear them or not, but every once in a while it just gusts. And I said, we live on a farm and there's a dirt road, and I said, I don't want to eat dust. I don't want to eat dirt all day to try to get the garden planted. And then to try to get it watered half decently with the wind is impossible. So I said, a day isn't going to make any difference. So if it slows down, usually if it's windy in the morning, by about 4 or 5 the wind stops. So maybe then we'll go out, depending on how I feel, we'll go out and plant the garden. I have been sick again for most of May. I slept and slept and slept, and I started to get really worried because I have a history of cancer, and I have a thyroid nodule that it looks suspicious, and I see the doctor next Wednesday about that. And I try not to worry, but then when suddenly you can't get out of bed, you're so tired, you start to get worried. So I made an appointment to see my doctor, and the first thing she asked me was, have you been around anyone with COVID? And I said, no, I don't go anywhere. No. Well, then my son Dustin was working in the city on a job, and he came home and said that everyone on the crew had COVID, including him. So I thought, ooh, I probably did have COVID, because the last time I had COVID, I was in bed for 2 weeks. I just was so tired. So chances are I had COVID, and I'm still tired. My iron is low, but it's been lower before. So I'm taking iron supplements now, and hopefully after I see the doctor next week, we can get this parathyroid and the thyroid thing fixed. Well, it won't get fixed right away, I know that. And then the week after, I'm going to StitchCon. So, I don't want to miss StitchCon. But I'm actually really busy right now making things to give away. I'm at StitchCon. I'm going to actually have to bring a suitcase along with all my gifts. And I've been getting a little worried that when I go across the border, they might think that I'm selling stuff. And I'm not. I'm giving things away. So I guess that's about it for my life update. It's been a long time, but I really haven't done much of anything. Some of my favorite floss tubers. Well, first of all, I should thank Shelley from Antique Needleworkers. I was there in the summer, and I made a bag for both her and for Liz, the Wandering Stitcher. And I guess Shelley finally got the bag, and she shouted me out on her channel, which is I've had a lot of people come to my channel because of that, and I thank you. I love the pink stitchers. I go into withdrawal when it's been like almost a month. I start looking every day for their video because they just lift my spirits, and they've all had breast cancer like me too, but I feel like they're part of the family. They would get along so well in my family, and part of me is secretly wishing they're going to StitchCon weekend B too, and I'm secretly hoping that some way God can find it that I can sit at their table with them. That would be like the ultimate for me. But anyway, another one I like to watch is Jordan, the tattoo stitcher. She's just so sweet, and man, can she stitch. She stitches a lot. And another one is a girl from the UK called Bumble Stitches. I like to watch her as well. And there's many more. All the regulars. We all watch all the regulars. But I think I watch Flosstube at night before I go to sleep. And I usually fall asleep watching Flosstube. And then if I wake up in the night, I watch it again. And sometimes it's like 4 or 5 tries before I get through the whole Flosstube. But I don't always write down because I'm sleeping. So I need to get in the habit of putting a pen and a paper by my bed. And if there's someone new or someone that isn't the famous ones, you know, that we're all fangirl about, that I can, you know, mention them and help them out. I don't know, I don't get a lot of viewers and I don't have a lot of subscribers, but still, you know, we all have to start somewhere. But anyway, I think that's about it for my life update. And I think from now, I will change cameras and we'll do it from down. Oh, you know what I forgot to do and all that? I forgot to do everyday gratitude. And today I do everyday gratitude from this book, Everyday Gratitude. And today it's by Dr. Albert Schweitzer, and it says, sometimes our light goes out, but it is blown again into instant flame by an encounter with another human being. And let's hope that's a good flame, you know, and it says, who has touched my life unexpectedly? Well, my ladies in my Bible study, they have changed my life for me. And I am so glad that God put them in my life. And anyway, so now we'll go camera down, and the rest of the video will be camera down. I have a bad shoulder, and for some reason this is backwards. Anyway, I have a bad shoulder and I can't hold things up, so I prefer to do the video with the camera shining down. And I'll be back in a flash. Today's blast from the past is a Mirabilia chart that I got probably 2012, 2013. The copyright says 2012, and that's about the time I was into cross stitch last time. And this is the August Peridot Fairy by Nora Corbett. And I didn't get it. There's no reason I got August except that I really liked it. I liked the colors. And I ordered all the beads to go with it. And I ordered the linen. And I am so glad I didn't do it on this linen. Look at how hard this is. I suppose once you get working with it, it will soften up. It's the what's called for the 32 count milk choco linen by Witchelt. But I kind of think it's kind of boring now. I think it could do much better. I could do a much better linen than this one, and maybe save this one for some smalls and that I make into cushions and things. But anyway, that's my blast from the past, and I thought it was kind of cool to bring out this one because a lot of people do Mira May, and even though it's the end of May, it's still May. I'm not going to start it. I have too many things started already, but I probably have linen. I think a nice bluish green would look nice. Even a purple would look nice. I have some lavender linen that would look really nice with that on, but we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, that's my blast from the past. We'll just put this away here, and then we'll go on to FFOs and finishes. FFOs are fully finished objects, and it's kind of, you have to get into the lingo of every one of your crafts, I guess. I guess I can't do this on a bigger count, or I can't do the beads, hey? So I'll have to find a 32 count linen, or the beads won't fit. Maybe I will. No. What do you think? Should I do it on this linen, or should I try to find something more with more modeling and more texture? I'm not sure. So anyway, I have no cross stitch FFOs this month, but I did finish 6 project bags and the Bonnie Hunter mystery quilt. And you know what? I'm just going to pause and I'm going to grab the bags. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I should have had it ready, but I've been making bags. They're just plain Janes, and they're a bigger size. I want to make one for each of my table mates at StitchCon, but I would like to have, when I go, I'd like to have 20 bags. So if there's 6 at the table, that's 5 go to my table mates, and the rest go to different people that I meet there. And so I've got 2 of the dogs, and this is the fabric inside. And sometimes I mess up, like this time the zipper's on the other side, it goes the other way. But here's the bunny rabbits. This zipper happened to have a pull. I'm hoping to get some, if I have time, I'll make some beaded pulls. If I don't, I won't. And there's the inside of that bag. And the backs generally have the same fabric that's on the front. They're just, when you're making 20 and you're in a rush, you kind of try to get them done as quickly as you can. This was kind of cool. I did this stitch here on my sewing machine, trying out different stitches on my machine. Some are better than others. It's just the nature. I tend to forget things. And these are little hedgehogs. Like this one, I put my tag on the wrong side. But that's the inside. Using up some of my old, I've had this fabric probably for 20 years. And there's the other hedgehog. And as long as I have the longer zippers, I'll make the bigger bags. If I run out of longer zippers, the bags will be made according to the size of the zippers. But I figure if people are being given a project bag, as long as it's nice, I don't think they care if it's a smaller one or a bigger one. So anyway, I got 6 done. They're gonna fill up my suitcase when I get 20 of these. And then all the other things that I haven't told you that I'm bringing. Anyway, so that's it for my FFOs. The quilt, I will, if I remember, I'll show a picture of the quilt here again. And if not, it'll go at the end of the video for sure. Now, I did finish a couple of projects this month. I finished one of my whip coat draws. Oh, I'm not very organized. So this is Basket of Cherries, the Garden Club. And I stitched this on 32 count Cocoa by Weeks Dye Works. I like Weeks Dye Works linen. It's a little looser than some, but I kind of like it. And stitched 1/2 with the called for floss. The only thing I think I need to do is go in and make this eye a little darker. It doesn't really show, but I'm proud of it. I learned to do Smyrna crosses. And this I will make into a little cushion. Oops, I should bring it down. There, you get a good shot. Yeah, that eye doesn't really show up, does it? It needs to be a little bit darker. So I've got a few more of these patterns. I may not do anything with it. I might just stitch another one here. And I could probably get something smaller down here before I start cutting it up. Because if you're doing it for a pillow, you only need about 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, you need about 1/2 inch, not 1/2 inch, 1/4 of an inch to sew in. And I guess you could sew tight, but it's nice to leave a little bit of a lip, a little bit of a gap around it, because your pillow tufts up. So it's nice to have that, unless I decide to frame it. But I don't know. I've got a whole bunch of frames in my basement, but until I get rid of that sofa and love seat, everything's a mess down there. And I don't really want to sell it. I would like to find someone who needs it and would like it. So I finished that, and then I'm just digging in my basket here because I'm not very organized. Oh, here it is. This is going to be my small, for the smalls exchange. So this is Bee Farm by Erin Elizabeth Designs, and this was a stitch along, and I don't remember who I had to buy this pattern through. It wasn't Erin Elizabeth, it was another company that I bought the PDF from, but I stitched it on 30 count Weeks Dye Work Angel Hair linen with the called for DMC 2/2. Oops, my screen froze here. So there it is, and I'm going to finish it the way Erin finished it here, and hopefully it'll fit in a bag, a bee themed bag that I have to make to put my small in. But it was fun. I need to make one for myself now, but I accidentally got my highlighter on here, and I'm hoping that Oxy Clean or whatever it's called, stain remover, will remove that. I'll try it with a Q-tip, but don't really care to stitch on this loose of a linen. I kind of am really getting into 40 count right now, and I don't mean to sound like a snob when I say that. It's just that I like the way it looks. I'll stitch on Ada. I have no problem stitching on Ada. Then I'll put this one to the side, and it's Christmas, which is in, go figure, it's in a cow farm theme bag, but it's red, and I put a little Christmas charm on to pull. But this one here, look at all the call for DMC. And I'm not stitching it as a whole. I'm stitching it as, and you know what I forgot to mention? I'll try to put up pictures up here of where I was before I started this month. I forgot to mention at the last video too. So I'm doing each of these separate. So I've done deck the halls and hang the stocking. And here they are. So here's deck the halls. And my back stitching isn't perfect, and I've made mistakes, but you know what? Can you tell? If you can, let me know, because I could probably fix it. But if you can't tell, it doesn't really matter. And these, I don't think I'm going to make these into pillows. Excuse me, my nose wants to run. That wind is blowing up all kinds of pollen outside. But I think I'm going to make these into flat Christmas tree ornaments. I would like to do a tree in my kitchen downstairs of all cross-stitched pieces. So I think that's my plan for that. So, and I don't care if I get them done this year or next year. I like the process. I like to have finished things, don't get me wrong, but I love stitching. And there's certain things, like this isn't one of my favorite things to stitch on. It's a lot of color changes, and a lot of the legend, a lot of the symbols look the same, and I think it was this that I sewed, I stitched it all the wrong colors, and I had to redo it. It just didn't look right. But yeah, but there's some things that I can't wait to get up in the morning to start stitching. One of them is my absolute favorite, and I don't think we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to start, the only start I had this month was the Bee Farm by Erin Elizabeth, and that was a start and a finish, and it'll be fully finished. But you probably won't see it in the next video because it'll be given away, but I will make sure I take pictures so that I can show you pictures. So now we're going to go on to our whips, and in April, a WIPCO, one of the WIPCOs was the Queen's Garden by the Scarlet House, and let's see if I can find that one here. Garden Club, the Queen's Garden. Here's a bag I made a few months ago, and I've just got I Pity the Spool on there. It's one of my smaller bags, and this can come off now. No, it can't. I'm not finished. What am I saying? Once I'm finished, this can come off. But this is stitched with the called for floss. It's stitched on, picture this plus Heritage 36 count. Here is the pattern. And I can show you here where I was when I started this. And I was so sure I was going to finish it. Actually, this I think is where I was when I left you last month. And I was so sure I was going to get it finished, but that bee farm took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I was quite tired and I wasn't stitching. So, but I would like to get this done soon, sooner than later. And I don't know if I'm going to put it into a cushion or if I'm going to, you know, frame it. I'm not sure. Oops, what's this? Oh, that's my working copy. I have to have a working copy because I make such a mess when I'm marking things up. Okay, and I also worked on, oh yes, this one here. Sorry about that. I had it right here, but I didn't have my little badge on there. This is Wee Santa by Hands On Design. And I originally started this, I saw it done in this pink linen and 40 count Newcastle, and I've since learned that Newcastle means 40 count. All Newcastle, at least if that's correct, Newcastle linen is 40 count. But this is blush, and I love working on it. Love it. And I'm working on Wee Santa 2023. So I finished the flowers on this side, and this month I hope to get a good chunk of the Santa done, and then I'll set it aside again. I'm using the called for floss on 1/2. It's pretty, isn't it? And I know people have changed it, and I don't know. I'm just happy to stitch. But look how tiny those stitches are. I do have I tend to stitch with quite a bit of tension, so when I use looser weaves, I tend to pull. It tends to pull at and leave gaps. So I don't know if I dare show you my back. I'm not the neatest stitcher. Well, that's not too bad. I carry. But I have since learned, thanks to Jordan, the tattooed stitcher, and Shelley from Antique Needleworkers, I've learned how to do pin stitches a couple of ways. So that makes a huge difference. And then my all-time favorite whip was called in May for Whipco, but I haven't finished my Whipco call yet. I haven't worked on it for 5 days this month. It goes in this bag, and it is Plum Street's This Is the Day. I love this, and I love working on it. No matter how tired I am, I wake up early in the morning and start working on it. I was working on it just before this video, so I'm going to take it out of the hoop. I work in these little hoops because anything bigger hurts my hand. And I would like to get like a nice lap frame, but they're too expensive to get a good one. So anyway, here's my stitch. And I've seen, they put a butterfly there. Someone put a butterfly there. And I saved that picture from Facebook. And I think I'm going to take this goat out and put a butterfly here, because there is a butterfly here. And I think what I'll do is I'll just turn it and put it here, and maybe I'll change it so that, or maybe I'll do it in the blue, and maybe I'll do my butterfly in this color. Aged pewter. Or else I'll just switch, and I'll put the light part on top and the darker part on the bottom. But I've pretty much got up till here on the house, up to here. I've got stitched in. So now I just have to fill that in. And I'm debating whether I should start filling in, or maybe what I should do is work towards finishing the brickwork, the mortar, and then framing in the roof. And then if I decide to take this to StitchCon, I can just fill in when I'm there. So we'll see, because I want to get this done. I just love it. I love working on it. It's a lot of stitching, but it's beautiful. I really like Plum Street and Teresa Kogut. I really like stitching. I love their flowers, and I think it's the colors. They're my colors. And I don't know whether I will attempt to frame this by myself or whether I will send it away. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put all this, because I will work on this right away after I'm done here. And I've used one of the charms that I got from that quarter shop. So then for May, another Whipco call was the Blackbird Basket of Cherries, which I finished. and the Plum Street Samplers, this is the day. And then it was also Hands-On Designs, Stitch Every Day. And these, most of my patterns that I'm working on, I picked up when I was at Keepsakes in the summertime. Oh, I put a sewing machine in there to put on a bag, but I don't have a bag available for this, so I'm just using these from Amazon. So Stitch Every Day, and I'll put up here where I was at when I started stitching this month, and this is where I'm at now. I had to do these trees twice because I did them in the wrong color. The symbol, for moss is this triangle, and the symbol for aged pewter is this triangle, and I got them mixed up. So I did them in aged pewter, and then I thought it looks so light compared to everything else, and then I realized that they were supposed to be moss. So otherwise I would have had more done. And I'm also thinking that this star would not show up if it wasn't surrounded by the brown. So there's stars here, and I'm thinking that I'm going to back stitch around them in the same brown, because I think they're just going to melt right into the fabric if I don't. And what fabric is this? This is Stately by Fortnight Fabrics, 36 count. And I like working on this linen. I like the modeling, I like the color, and I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards framing it. I don't think I'm going to do a drum, but then it would be good to learn how to do a drum. But anyway, I'm using the called for cottons, floss, mostly Gentle Arts and Weeks, and I'm stitching one strand over 2 threads. Yeah, I'm happy with that. If I could just make it past supper and do stitch at night like normal people do, but 7 o'clock and I'm in bed exhausted. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. And what else do I have in my bag here? No, I didn't work on that this month. Did I work on the garden club? Let's look in here and see. Oh no, that's what I finished. The one from the garden club. So this is the next one I have to do. And then this will be stitched on 32 count beige Weeks dye work. And then I have the floss already here. I just don't have them on a ring, and I don't have them cut. So someday I'll get to that. Not for a few days though. Then what was in here? Stitcher's Garden. Let's take a look at that one and see. Oh, I worked on this one last month. I remember that. I worked on this last month and I screwed up. Somewhere in here I've got a counting error, but in the scheme of things I don't think it'll matter. I can fix it, I think. I think. Okay, so the Whipco calls are out for June, and I'm actually really happy with the calls because these are 2 kind of funky things that were just in my stash from years ago. The first one is the Hedgehog. It really doesn't have a name. Hetty Hedgehog. It's a pin cushion kit that I picked up in a magazine. You know, you get those magazines wrapped in cellophane and they always include something. So let's see what's here, what's all in here. And I'm hoping that I can do a complete finish on this in June, start to finish. So let's see what we've got. So we've got 2 pieces of Aida, looks like 14 count Aida. We've got some very stiff felt. Man, I hope I'll have to find my magazine. I can't do this without the magazine. You'll find the charts inside your copy of Cross Stitch Your issue 291, so I'll have to dig that out, or else this will go off my Whipco board and will be replaced with something else. And then these, I think, are the pins. And pins that you put in the pin cushion. Isn't that cute? It shouldn't take too long to stitch. Oh, it even has, look at here. It's even got the bead for his nose. How cute is that? So I'll have to find that magazine or else this will be of no use to me. And I'm sure it's in with my other, I have a big basket filled with all my cross stitch stuff from, and I was looking for that Mirabilia today and I thought, man, I've got a lot of kits in there, like the dimensions and that kits that are beautiful that I don't know when I'm going to find the time to stitch them. And then this is my other stitch, and this is my other Whipco pick for June. And this is, I've got all the floss laid out on a design board. My friend made this one for me. So this is a Mill Hill kit, and it's Hocus Pocus trilogy, and this is Miranda. And I started on this a long time ago, but I was having trouble reading the chart, so I had to scan the chart in so I can enlarge it. So now I should be able to finish this in a month, I would think. Sometimes the hardest part is sorting out your floss. And then this bag will be free for something else too. So that's it for my whips, my finishes, my starts, my fully finished, and now we'll go on to crochet. And I really have nothing to show you for crochet because I'm working on that granny rectangle, which I'll show you. I'll put a picture of it here from last time. And I really, it's taking a long time to get bigger because as it gets bigger, the rows get bigger, longer, and it takes longer to stitch, to crochet. So I think the next time you'll see it will be a finish. And I've got one more ball of yarn, and I don't know if I'll need any more to make it a good size or not, but it's beautiful. I love it. It's so soft. It's going to be heavy. You know, to make it big, though, doing that blanket stitch, it has a little bit of weight to it. But that is it for my crochet today. Now on to my quilting. As I mentioned before, I finished the quilt from the Bonnie Hunter Mystery that I've been working on since November. I had it on my quilting machine for over a week because my machine was misbehaving. And I had to put it in timeout for a little bit. Then I called Dustin and my son and I said, can you come over and take a look at my quilting machine because it's just not stitching right. And he just had to tighten a couple of screws, and within minutes it was up and running and everything was fine. But meantime, I had to unstitch quite a bit of it, and it took quite a while, and I ended up with a couple of small holes in the quilt, which I'm not very happy about. But that's what you could do. That's what happens when you have mistakes and you don't know how to figure it out yourself. And I also mentioned that I made project bags, and that's about it for the stitching I've done. Like I said, I want to make 20 project bags, so I'm pretty much going to be working on them until I leave for StitchCon. And once that's done, and once I get home, I hope to get working on some Lori Holt projects. But summertime gets really busy around here, so we'll see how much I get done in the summertime. Haul. Well, I have a much bigger haul than I ever thought I would. When I don't feel well and I can't create, I tend to go online and shop. And I did a fair amount of that this month, which I hadn't planned on doing. And I don't know. I think it's like an alcoholism. I just am addicted to shopping. But I need to start doing things and not always just shopping. But just give me a second here. I'm gonna pull up my box with my purchases in. Oh boy, this is heavy. So this is my first box that I have everything sorted in. So we'll put it to the side so I can start pulling from it. So as I've mentioned before, I'm committed to some monthly clubs. I have Patreon membership with Teresa Kogut and Liz Matthews. And this is what Liz Matthews had for May. And this is beautiful. I want to stitch her last month's one as well. Excuse me. As well. But I want to stitch these too. And they're stitched like, this is all stitching. It's not your linen around it. So it's fairly extensive. This, in here, this is your linen. There's no stitching there. But it's beautiful. Beautiful. And hers, I think it's like 10 bucks a month or something like that. It's not very expensive. Then I like my Teresa Kogut. This is May's Patreon. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. I love that. Bunny Bouquet. Another one. Just love. Folk Floral Cottage. This would be nice, I think, if, like, she usually recommends DMCs and then sometimes the Weeks Dye Works, but I think if you substituted these for some hand-dyed floss, I think they'd be nice with some variegation in there. Look at that house. And the bird, he's almost as big as the house. Then she had a bonus this month, and it's The Word Was Made Flesh and Dwelt Among Us. So that's definitely on my to-do list. And then Hometown. This is a 2-year mystery, and I haven't even started it yet. I don't have the linen yet for it, and truthfully I haven't had the time, but if I don't get the linen before I have the time, figure that one out, I will start it on a different linen. I'm waiting for the called for linen, and it's been on order for a couple of months and still hasn't come in. So I'll just put those to the side. Then I get the Country Cottage Needleworks pastel ornaments, and this is Christmas Bird, and this is so cute. I just love that. I don't know what linen it's stitched on, but I want to make these to hang on my Christmas tree upstairs. And from the Happy Little Stitch shop, I get the quilt seeds, the sewing machine. I get one of these a month, and there's 6, and I think I've received 3 already, if I remember right, 2 or 3. So I've got a few more to go. And I haven't started them yet. I'm thinking, instead of making them into separate wall hangings, because I don't have a lot of wall space, I'll make them into a quilt to keep in my studio up here. But those are good to take when we have sewing days. I can take a project like that and do it in my sewing day. Then I belong to the Fat Quarter shop and the Happy Little Stitch shop. I belong to their Lori Holt Fat Quarter bundle, and I haven't received one for April or May from the Fat Quarter shop. They're having problems with getting the shipments in, but this is my bundle from the Happy Little Stitch shop for May. It's just beautiful. Look at that. That's going to be great for some stuff I'm going to show you in a bit here. This is really nice too. Oh, look at the little chicks. This is a really great way to build your stash. And in fact, it's such a good stash builder that I'm going through my old stash, and I'm starting to weed things out, and I'm going to give them away to someone else that, well, someone that's on a fixed income and doesn't have a lot of extra money to spend on things like fabric to quilt with. So I'm going to share my obsession of shopping, you know. Then I joined, this last month, I joined the Moda Fat Quarter bundle as well, and this, I love this one here. This is Flower Girl by My So Quilty Life. Heather Briggs, I think, is the designer's name, and this is just gorgeous. Let's open this. You can do a lot with a Fat Quarter bundle too. So we've got this one here. I just love these colors. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with these, but it will be not, oh, I might make a project bag out of some of them, you never know. This would be a nice project bag with the peach on the top. I love it that peaches come back in style. This was the color of my kitchen years ago. Well, I'll put this away after. I'll just put it down on the floor beside me. Then May's is Jelly and Jam by Fig Tree Quilts. And that's Joanna Figueroa. Can't say it. Figueroa. But this is so fresh. And this is her eyelet. I bought the fat quarter bundle of eyelet. This is it's great for the back of your cross stitch, and so would this be great for the back of your cross stitch. This would be another good one. Anything small like this would be great. Isn't that gorgeous? Just the vibrancy, I love that green. This is another good one for the back. Yeah. And these bigger ones you could use them on the back like of a cushion, a pin cushion if you're making pin cushion out of your cross stitch. I'll put that. So what do I have next here? Cottage Garden Samplings. So I get the Fabulous Houses series and the Time for All Seasons series from Happy Little Stitch Shop, and I get the linen and the floss and the pattern, but every few months you get the linen. You don't get linen every month, and when you do, you get a fat quarter of it. So this month's was the Hobbit House. Just love it. And I haven't decided yet when I do sew these if I'm going to sew them into one big thing, or if I'm going to, I think I'll probably frame the smaller ones, and I may not even stitch them all. I may just stitch the ones I like. And you get the floss kit with it. But I've been putting these into my stash until I'm ready. I figure, what's the point of hoarding them when I may not start this till next year? I might as well have them in my stash, and then I can use them. And if I need to buy them then, I can buy them then. This one I love. It's Beesy Spring. I love that. What do they call that? A bee skep? Or I call it a beehive. And the sunflowers. And Sayings of the Seasons from the Fat Quarter Shop. This is summer. Here's the call for floss. Here's the fabric to finish off the design. You get 28 count black Monaco. And then here's the pattern. So I don't know how I'll finish this. I don't even know if I'll stitch this on Monaco. I've seen it done on just a khaki color behind it, and it looks fine that way too. And then you get their little bag with this one as well. Oops. Oh, and a little charm. Okay, and then let's go to my Pine Mountain Biddy Bowl Club for May and June. So this is May's. And I already have the bowl, and you get all this in there to finish it. They ship it to me every second month. And then here's June's with the mermaid and the sailboat. I'm landlocked. I live in the prairies. But it's still kind of cool. And then, oh, I like the shells. I love these colors. I haven't even looked at this yet. So those I'll stitch up when I have time. I'm not too worried whether I keep up with it or not. Whew. I joined the Gentle Arts Floss Club from the Happy Little Stitch Shop. And so what did we have this month or last month? We've got Bayberry. I like greens. Black Crow. Ooh, that's a bluish black. more bluey. And then black licorice, which is like black. Oh, and then blackboard, which has got a lot of gray in it. It's quite variegated. Even a little, on the camera it shows a little bit purpley, but not too much in real life. This one, look at this one. Black raspberry jam. That is incredible. That is really beautiful. And then what else have I got here? Floss Fix. We'll do this one first, Floss Frenzy. So this is April's from the Fat Quarter Shop. And I don't throw away these bags. These bags come in handy. So this month we've got Emma's Pink. It's quite variegated, very pretty. Envy. Oh, that is such a good green for, not Valentine's Day, Halloween. Oh, geez, my shirt's hanging over the table. Fathom. Fawn. That's a pretty color. Fire. And I'm just starting collecting floss. Like, I've got DMC, but I'm just starting to get the hand dyed. And this is Flatfish. And then we've got the Classic Colorworks Floss Fix, which that one is May. So this is April's. Eve's Leaves. Fallen Leaves. This is a beautiful fall, rusty, orangey color. Fancy Green Nancy. I think of fairies when I think of that color. Fields of Green. Beautiful green. Finley Gold. It's a nice yellow too. And Fleur de Lilac. Very pretty. And then May's. We've got, and these go in alphabetical order. So if I ever want to, I can always start purchasing the ones before the C's, I think it was when I started. Fool's Gold. Four-leaf clover. But I think I'm starting to get a fairly good stash here. Fresh Brew. Frog Legs. Love this color. Ooh, Frosted Sage is really nice too. That'd be nice for a butterfly on that Plum Street. This is the day. Frosty. So those are my floss clubs. I wish that Fat Quarter Shop would consolidate your clubs and send it once a month. For one, it would save on shipping dramatically instead of shipping every club out singly. And not only that, my husband wouldn't complain because he gets parcels every day, you know, because sometimes my parcel is just a pattern or it's one of the floss kits and he thinks that I am buying lots of stuff. I shouldn't talk like that, but I'm so fortunate that I can though. Okay, my linen for the month. This is Grace Notes fabric. I'm getting 40 count from them now, and this is Buttercup. Beautiful. I guess that's close to what it really is. But look at, I love their fabric. Look at that. This would be nice to to stitch that bee farm on. The only thing is when you're going from a 30 count to a 40 count, they always give me a little sticker in there. I probably need to add something to the background to make it the right size for the finishing piece. Okay, then from Traditional Stitches, I get 2 different clubs for linen. I get the Fat 8th club of Picture This Plus every month. And this is Ariel, 40 count. Beautiful. See, that Mirabilia would look nice on here too. This is This isn't so washed out. This is a really nice blue. And I'm not a blue person, but it's not washed out like the camera shows. It's sometimes if I just go like this, yeah, it's still not that kind of blue. But we'll put that here. Then we've got Belt by Picture This Plus, 40 count. And again, I save all these bags. When I get back into my paper crafting, I will have uses for those bags. This is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. It's more green. It's more orangey, yellowy green than what's showing up. Like this has got a little bit of orange to it, and this is beautiful. Let's see if we can get that better. I just, yeah, that's better. My thumbnail, I can't get it done. Don't be disturbed by that. It just, it lifts. Every time we try to do nails on it, it lifts. So I just leave it free. It needs to breathe. Then I also get the week's dye work bundle every month, and in 40 count, and this is in a fat quarter, and this is just beige. It's nice. It's just an all, and again, this is more greenish than it's showing on the camera. But yeah, there it's better. But I'm starting to get a nice little linen stash. Like I said, I need to get healthier so that I can stitch at night, because if I could stitch, I tend to only stitch for an hour in the morning and maybe an hour in the afternoon. If I could stitch at night for a few hours before I go to bed, I could get so much more done. So then, like, I don't get enough stuff every month. I signed up for the Sew Sampler mystery box, monthly subscription box from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is amazing. Now I can't wait. Now that I've opened it, I can start making stuff out of this box. So you get this, and this has all the coupons on the back. You get this wonderful, let's open this. Heather Briggs Flower Girl, the same bundle that was that month. You get the you get a fat quarter bundle with that fabric. You can choose if you want. You can make this bag. This is the interfacing and the zipper to make this crafty clutch bag. You get a really cool little journal. I'm just going to open that here. And every month it's different. You get a nice, it's graph paper on one side, and then what a great cross stitch thing, and even quilting, a little notebook. A needle minder that matches the pattern that's in here, that you can make with the fat quarters that you got in this kit. You just need to add a background, 1 3/4 yards for the background sashing and border, 5/8 yards of something for the binding, and 3 yards for the backing. So I want to order that. You get a nice little sticker, which I'm going to put to the side with all my other stickers. This tells you everything that's in here. And then you every month you get a basket block. So at the end of the year, you can make a quilt with all these baskets. And I'm not a blue person, so I don't think I'll do it in these fabrics. I think I'll do it very scrappy with my bundles that I've been getting from the Fat Quarter Shop. So anyway, that's it. That's in that box. And these are my monthly commitments. This is what I get pretty much every month. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But next year I'll have to cut back, though. It's way too much stuff to be getting every month. I don't have the time to finish it. So now we're just going to go on to the parts that weren't clipped. I'll clean this up. Okay, I had some things made. I purchased some things to take to StitchCon with me, and I purchased. These will be floss drops. This is a picture of our yard. We live at what used to be a dairy farm. We run beef cattle though, but we've got this big, huge hip roof barn, and unfortunately the picture only shows part of it. But it was such a pretty picture, so I had these made to give out at StitchCon with my information on. So I will punch holes in them. I've got 500 to punch holes in and give away and put on floss, put on rings. I've got a lot to do before StitchCon. But I'm pretty good at working under pressure. Then I had these made, and I haven't even looked at these yet. So you're looking at them with me for the first time. Let's hope they turned out. My first time ordering the cards for floss drops didn't turn out so well. So these, I'm just going to group a few together. That's not going to cut there. My knife isn't as sharp as you think it is. There we go. So I had these made. And these have my information on them. And there's a better picture of our barn right there. And information. And then I've got project number, because I keep track of my projects by number. My pattern name, my designer, my stitch count, stitched on, the date started, the date finished, the date FFO'd, and the finished size. Flosses used, or floss used, and then my notes. So I will give some of these away at StitchCon as well. So I'll really have to be careful that my luggage doesn't get too heavy. And I think I'll keep some of these for myself to use as well, because I like to keep all my information in a book numerically, and I think these would be nice to have in the bags as well. So then I picked up some more things. I ordered these. They're all the same. I happen to really like these scissors. I like that they're a fine point. They're not as fine as some, but I like the fact that they're big scissors. So I ordered 20 sets of scissors to give away at StitchCon. I'll have to print out a label with my information on it and give those away as well. So I kind of did things in groups of 20. That can go over there. And then I don't know why I didn't do this in 20s, but I was at the dollar store the other day, at Dollarama, which is our Canadian one. This is going to go with the bag that I give for my my smalls exchange, and that's the maple leaf from our flag. And then I picked up some of these, which I'm going to have to get to the dollar store next week when I'm up, and I'll pick up enough so I have about 20 of them to give away. So I have some to give to my table mates, and then the rest just to give away. I ordered from Amazon. I ordered this, and I haven't opened it because it's kind of flaking, but I didn't think it was this big. It's wax, it's beeswax, and it says Canada Bee, and there's a bee on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I ordered that to give away in my smalls exchange. Then I ordered these pens that you put beads on, and one of them is going to go in my smalls exchange. My table mates will get one each, and then the rest will be just whoever I decide to give them away. I'll bead them up beforehand. This is to put on all my bags, to be reminded of StitchCon 2024, and on my pieces. Then I don't know who I was watching on Flosstube, but they had ordered these bags from Amazon, and I really like them. So I just ordered some because I'm short on project bags, and right now I'm busy making them to give away, so I will use these in the meantime for myself. I've already put kits in some of them. Then from Etsy, I purchased a couple of bee needle minders, and they ended up being, they ended up being from a Canadian Etsy seller. But I ordered this bee for myself, And I ordered this bee to go in with my smalls exchange. I thought that was really cute. Okay, what else do I have? Oh yeah, okay, we're getting honest here. Hi, my name is Winona. I'm addicted to shopping and I don't know how to stop. I even had 2 carts going at 1-2-3 Stitch from market releases, and a few things that I really wanted from before. And I had one with my home, my personal email address, and then I had one with my Gmail account that I use for Flosstube. And they've since merged the two, but I had them both going for a while, and then one day in a moment of weakness I hit purchase or buy or whatever you do to complete your purchase, and I bought some charts out of my one cart. So I'll show you what I've got here. So this has been in my cart forever and a day. Happy Easter by Primrose Cottage. They're all good. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. They're really good. But I ordered the Bramble Cottage. It's chart 1 and 6 of Blueberry Ridge Garden Series. And this is by Blueberry Ridge Designs. I ordered the Pine Tree Chalet. I just love that. So, from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, I ordered Acorn House. I don't know why I chose Acorn out. It's the 8th one. I'd like to do this whole series. I ordered Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery as well. I ordered Float. This has been out for a while, but I just love it. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. So I'll have to go to Heartstring and Samplery and order the sting. I ordered these. I thought these would make nice decorations on my tree up here, my Christmas tree up here in the summertime. So this is Prairie Schooler book number 24, Prairie Birds. I won't do them as a cushion. I'll do them as a flat ornament. And God Saw. Love this. Love Teresa Kogut. Love, 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 love it. And then Hello Spring, which was a market release. And I think the first one I want to do in here is this one here. I just love that little hat on that wren. And a couple of years ago I had a wren that visited me on my deck every day. He had a nest nearby, but he would come and he'd sit just a little ways away from me, and just we'd look at each other, and you know, never amounted to anything more than that, but it was really sweet. So then the next day I decided, what the heck, purchase the other cart too. You really want the stuff, just do it. So I purchased, and God, love this. I want to stitch it right away, but I have so many things on the go. I'm not good at having multiple projects on the go. The Prairie Schooler Santa from 2024. I'd like to do them up. I'd like to do a lot of them. I'm not saying all, but I'd like to do quite a few of them. Many mansions. In my father's house, there are many mansions. Love it. Down in the Valley. Oh my goodness, it's almost 3 o'clock already. Hands-on Design, Gather Wildflowers. There's a summer one out now too I want to get. Botanical Bee. Oh, love this. Gorgeous. Strength and Dignity by The Proper Stitcher. Beautiful. Rachel Seller, 1882. I got the chart, and then I got the 103 silks to go with it. So this might be one I start, because I don't think it'll take too long to do. And I've never worked with silk. I do have a few kits with silk that I haven't started yet, but You know, one of these days. Proverbs 31 sampler. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. That's me. I love it. Can't wait to do it. And finally, on my list was Serenity. This is one of the most gorgeous samplers I have ever seen. It is so pretty and so elegant. Just beautiful. I wish I had more time. I wish that I was 20 years old just starting this hobby now. You know, but I am what I am. Okay, so then, oh, I can justify this purchase. I'm waving my finger at you guys because I told myself for every Whipco square that I do, I would put $25 towards charts. So my Whipco squares that I'm done have covered that. So that's just my my reasoning. Then I'd ordered this a few months ago from Traditional Stitches in Calgary. They have everything on their website, but they often don't have it in stock. So if you order, you may not get it for a few months, and I'm fine with that. But I ordered this. I've wanted this for a while. Brenda Gervais does not ship to Canada, so you pretty much have to find someone else to purchase her charts through. But these are gorgeous. Then I usually fill a cart at the fat quarter shop, and then after a while I start pulling things out, and I hit the purchase button and bought lots of stuff. Probably most of it I don't even need, but you know what? You only live once, right? So I bought, and start pulling stuff up here. Okay. So I bought her tin enamel mug for autumn, her newest fabric collection. Love it. It's gorgeous. Then I bought a needle minder, the new Scarecrow needle minder. It's more of a scissor minder. It's quite strong. I don't know if these scissors are, oh yeah. Yeah, see, it's really strong. Oops, it's glaring at you. I picked that up. Then I picked up some charms, because charms and needle minders were 20% off or 25% off last month. So I got the newest ones. I got the apple. Oh, fingers. I got the sunflowers. I got the little bluebird, and I got the bell jar, or the mason jar. And this one I've wanted for a while, but every time I would go on it was sold out. And this is the woman's dress. Love it, and I love pink. That's my color. So then I purchased some pins, and I do have the pins already. And I purchased the magnetic pin holder in a different color, and it's not because, oh, I have to have every color kind of thing. It's I'm gonna put these to the side, and this is what I'm going to use when I'm trying to frame, to lace or tape, or however I do my backs when I want to frame for myself. I'll pin them first, and then I'll lace them, or I'll tape them or glue them, whatever. But I'll use these. I'll save these just for that, rather than using my good quilting stuff. I also picked up her autumn fat quarter bundle. Love it. Oh man, these are just beautiful. So I'm gonna have to, there's a few things I'm gonna have to order more yardage for, and some of them are the backgrounds, because I have a few quilts that I want to do out of this. One of the quilts I want to do is her how to build a scarecrow. So I picked up the templates, the So Simple shapes for that. Then I picked up this pattern, Crows in the Corn, and I could pretty much do it. Looking at what I need, I just need a little bit more of the crow bodies and wings, and yeah, the border, like just I just need more. Most of these colors will be, most of these fat quarters will be more than enough to do this quilt. There's just a few things I have to get yardage for. But then again, I want to do that how to build a scarecrow, and I need more for that as well. But isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. And Lori Holt's patterns are so easy to follow. Then I had to put an order into Paisley and Polka Dots for my small exchange, and so I ordered extra stuff for me to do for myself because the shipping to Canada is so expensive. The shipping for this order was more than the products cost. So I'm going to have to find a place across the border that I can have my stuff shipped into the States, and then I drive down one day and pick everything up, because it would be cheaper to do that than what I paid for shipping. So I'm just going to pull everything up that I purchased from them, because I want to do the Erin Elizabeth, and I will put the pictures on the screen here of the projects that go with each of these signs. So I've got the bee hut, the beehive hut to go with my bee farm. You've probably seen that, it's been all over the place. So I picked up 2 of those, one to do for StitchCon and one to do for myself. Then she also has, in that same kind of theme, she uses this Market Fresh placard or whatever. And then there's also, and the pictures will be up on here so you can see it, a planter box for a cross-stitch display. And I've picked up all the paints and that I need, all the products I need from Michael's to do these. So I've got a lot to do before StitchCon. Then finally, I missed one thing here. There's another thing I picked up in my box. I'm just gonna grab this stuff out of here. Boy, and then I gotta edit the video, and then I've gotta put everything away. This is the water mister and the plant stick. So yeah, I haven't even ordered her patterns for this yet, but I will. Then I was in Chapters one day with a friend. We went to Regina, and I think she had a doctor's appointment, and the only place we really wanted to go was Chapters. And Chapters is like Barnes & Noble in the States. I think it's called Indigo now, but it's still Chapters to me. So I picked up a few books. Books have really gone up in price. I can't believe it. But I picked up from their 2 for $20 display. I picked up Ken Follett's Never. I kind of like these intrigue, kind of conspiracy, kind of. It says, Never is an extraordinary thriller full of heroines and villains, false prophets and elite warriors, jaded politicians and opportunist revolutionaries. It brims with cautionary wisdom for our times and delivers a visceral, heart-pounding read that transports readers to the brink of the unimaginable. I've listened to a few of Ken Follett's books on Audible. The one where they're building the cathedral, like Pillars of the Earth, that series, and I just loved them. And so I thought I'd probably like that. And then Steve Berry is another author that I like, and this is The Last Kingdom. It's an older book. Well, probably Ken Follett's is as well. But I like these books. I'm actually on a James Rollins kick. I'm rereading books I read years ago by James Rollins. And then this is Miss Morgan's Book Brigade, and this takes place, I believe, in the Second World War. No, the First World War, after the First World War. And it says, 1918. As the Great War rages, Jessie Carson takes a leave of absence from a New York public library to work for the American Committee for Devastated France. Founded by millionaire Anne Morgan, this international group of women helps rebuild devastated French communities just miles from the front lines. Upon arrival, Jessie strives to establish something that the French have never seen: children's libraries. She turns ambulances into bookmobiles and trains the first French female librarians. Then she disappears. So it sounds interesting. So I picked that book up as well. Now onto my plans. Well, I got lots to work with, hey? But I'm doing quite well keeping up with my Whipco board. I'm really enjoying that. I this month was a challenge because I had 3 and I had that bee farm. But most months I seem to find other things that I can stitch on as well. But I'm still going to continue getting my clubs, even though it's a lot. I'm still going to get them. I still want to stitch the things. I still want to sew things. Hopefully there'll come a day when I feel a lot better and I'm able to sew, like I'm able to work all day. Now I'm about 4 hours. I have a good 4 hours in a day, and that's it. So that's why I buy a lot and I don't get a lot done. But the me before cancer, I would be using this stuff up so fast. Like, even when I worked, I sewed 2 or 3 hours every night. And now I can't do anything at night. But I'm still working towards my 60 finishes for my 60th year. I'll put the hashtag in the description below. I can't remember it offhand right now. But I haven't been putting my pictures up on Instagram. I'm just too tired to do anything like that. And then like I've told you, I get about an hour to 2 hours stitching in a day. And I know I have to increase that because I'm going to need my stamina for StitchCon to be able to sit and stitch that long. And I'm getting really excited about it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But that's about it for me this time. If you've watched, I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, maybe give me a comment or two. I've reached a milestone. I've had 500 subscribers, and I'm debating whether I'm going to do anything with a draw for that or anything, but I think I'll announce that. If I am, I'll do that once I'm home from StitchCon. I just have too much on my plate right now to worry about announcing names and things like that. And I'm not sure when I'm doing my next video, so hopefully shortly after StitchCon, but I don't know. Depends what's going on here. So make sure if you've subscribed, you ring that bell so that you know when I'm posting a video and you get to see it. And I guess I wish you lots of love and happiness until we meet again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.